Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. Alright, guys, so I am just going to say they gapped you down. You got bought up straight off open. You never came down to where we were looking for you to come down to. Come over here to SPY, you got the same thing. You just did not come down to where I was looking for you to come down to. Part of me thinks they're not going to bring you down there. They're going to be sending you up before they're going to be bringing you down to SPY 518.22 and QQQ 441.99. Now, what I do want to point out immediately on QQ is that you just broke through this downtrend. You have one touch point, you have two, you have three touch points. All right, so you just broke through your downtrend. You got a 15-minute close above, and you also got a close above this high over here. Guys, we are in a 15-minute uptrend. I am looking for price to continue higher. Now, let's just say this is going to be a dead cat bounce. Where are we looking for sellers to step in? Somewhere between 446.75 and 448. That is where I'm looking for sellers to step in. So I do think we will be continuing higher from here. All right, so that's just my opinion. I don't know how things are going to close out, but if they close out how they are right now, this does not look bad at all. Not even close. All right. What I will remind everyone is that if we were to just pull back and get bought up to the high again, we would have this inverse head and shoulders formation going on right here, with this zone right here being the neckline. That is still in play. If you get bought up and you happen to pass this this 448.64 level, all right, I'm gonna say, hey, all right, we're gonna call it a breakout, and I think we're gonna be running to these above targets above. These targets above. These above targets above. These targets above the targets. All right, moving on. SPY. Guys, you also have this downtrend, so we are paying attention to that. That is also going to align with your previous support, now turned resistance. So you're going to have sellers step in right here. If you want to put a zone to it, it would be something like that. If you can get above there, being above, we're going to call it 521.50. If you can get above 521.50 on SPY, you're going to be broken out of this downtrend, and I do think you're probably going to continue higher from there. All right, where to? Well, if it's just going to be a dead cat bounce up here to 522.40, up into 523.15, that is going to be the golden pocket. Now, I do want to bring you over to IWM, guys. IWM is consolidating above this previous range here. No, it was not a big range, all right, but it was a 2-day range, so it's something. And now you're just consolidating above it. Oh, it's not a 2-day range. I'm bugging. It's inside of 1 day. I don't know why it just said 2 days over there. But yeah, guys, you're consolidating right above it in a bullish manner here. All right, you have this bull pennant / falling wedge going on here. And I do think it's likely you are going to break out to the upside from this. It is possible that is not the case. And if we are to sell, then guys, I'm looking for IWM to find buyers down here around this 202.71 level. That is going to be the top of this range right over here. All right, so that is that. That's really all I'm seeing here on the indices, guys. It is Monday, so not much is going down today. If this turns into a crazy doji candlestick by the end of the day, then that's that. All right, but I'm still going to be bullish on this dip. I'm just going to put it out there. All right, why? Because inverse head and shoulders, bullish structure. Any pullback into the zone, I expect to be eaten. And guys, it already got eaten. You come over here to SPY, and you don't have something as clean, but if you pull back, you're just going to come into the previous all-time high. I expect this demand zone to hold, and I expect buyers to step in right over here if tested. So, you know, whether you want to go from here or you want to come down and, you know, make a new low there and then go from there, I don't care. I'm going to be bullish on that dip. I really am. And maybe you just absolutely flush, all right? Maybe you flush, and this 15-minute RSI puts in a bullish divergence down there. Guys, you know the drill. You got a 15-minute bullish divergence right here in this demand zone, which, you know, we're just going to call it the golden pocket, 440.40 up to 442.35, we'll call it. But, you know, right around 441.99, that's really the level of interest there that I'm paying attention to. If you come into 441.99 with that 15-minute bullish divergence, then expect it to be bought up. That is pretty much it, guys. You did have a bearish divergence going on Mr. VIX over here. You did end up, you know, you got to rip on the indices. You got to sell over here in Mr. VIX. And now we have a bullish divergence going on down here, guys. you could say you can't do TA on Mr. VIX, all right? I say the divergences are going to continuously pop up anyway on Mr. VIX. You're also consolidating right over here where you broke out from. So, you know, oh yeah, you can't do TA and VIX. Then what is this? All right, why are we seeing it get? And no, it's not really getting bought up because it's just directly tied to the SPX option chain. But you know, I like to think TA works over here. All right, now let's talk about some individual tickers. All right, Shop guys. Shop did end up holding this uptrend. You're in this uptrend, but what I really want to point to is you have this inverse head and shoulders formation, and this whole demand zone here, the zone, is just the neckline. All right, and you also perfectly held your trend line. So held trend line support, your uptrend there. Not looking so bad. I'm looking for these. You see these gray levels? Yeah, those first two. I think those get hit in the short term if this trend line can hold. So that is that. All right, next one we're paying attention to over here, Upstart. Still just trying to go, guys. All right, I'm going to keep it on your radar. If you have an extended pullback here, it's just going to turn into an inverse head and shoulders formation. All right, just to make it crystal clear for you guys, it would go something like that, and then you would break out. So, you know, all in all, we're going to keep it on the radar. It's not really looking bad to me. That's that. Next one we're talking about, NVIDIA, guys. NVIDIA is right next to the high. NVIDIA is very likely going to take out that high. I see no reason it would push up to 967.66. All right, within $10 of the previous high, and you're not going to break it. Yeah, I find that very hard to believe. All right, and if you just take that, all right, guys, we've already surpassed the 0.786 fib. We did it the other day. Told us we're probably coming all the way up here, and once you do come up here, I think we're going to be running to that $1,000 psych level that everyone on the mothers has been looking for, including me, which honestly gets me nervous. Like, I don't. Because that's why it's not getting hit, guys. That's why NVIDIA is really just consolidating its butt off over here. It's just waiting. All right. I mean, obviously, it's slowly trekking up here, but it's not, you know, the straight shot up that you would have expected being right underneath the $1,000. I thought it would be hit a lot sooner than this. But you just broke up. I'm just putting it out there. This thing is very likely going to take out the 974 level tomorrow. Or it's going to happen end of day today. I got absolutely no idea. But this thing does not look like it is going to be stalling out here. And if it does stall out here, you're looking at this. Okay? That's all it is. You're not looking. It got this close to the previous high. You're not looking for this thing to fully get back this move. You're looking for a higher low, preferably right here above 946. No, not 946. This is level 924. Yeah, 924.05, the high of this candlestick right here. All right, guys. So I don't have too many individual tickers to show you guys right now, but we will come over here and we will look at GS. All right, GS is something that just broke out from not 9 months, 90 days. 3 months of consolidation. I highly doubt this is going to be the end of this bad boy, and I think it's going to be bought up. Put it on the radar. Nike. Guys, Nike actually did not have bad earnings. Nike either stayed the same, all right, just go on their you know, income statement, their balance sheet. They stayed the same quarter over quarter, or they slightly improved. You take your pick, all right? I say they slightly improved, but guess what? You got a gap down. RSI is now oversold. I think you're probably going to start getting buyers stepping in. And if you can, all right, start pushing up above that 95.17 level, that is what I'm going to be watching for a recovery. You can see that is exactly where Thor stepped in right there on that morning spike. And then, boom, yeah, they shoved you down. Now you do have this little thing if you want to be a short-term trader here on Nike. All right, you got this little downtrend, whatever. All right, my point is, I do think it's going to be bought up, and I think we're going to be coming up to 97.81 sooner rather than later. That is just my idea, throwing it out there. Microsoft, guys, I told you, if it pulls back in here, it's not a selling opportunity. It's the buying opportunity. Microsoft, AMD, and INTC, Intel, all right, they have been banned from China. Governmental employees cannot use these things. They cannot anymore. Now, speaking of which, we're going to talk about AMD, but we'll go over Microsoft right here, right now. Microsoft, 420.82. That is the high of this candlestick right here. That was your breakout level. This is your break and retest. All right. I understand it looks kind of sloppy, but I do not think it's going to break out from all of this consolidation and just fall flat. I think it's very likely going to be, it's going to fall flat, make people think it's falling flat, and then you're probably going to do a little boom, boom action. All right, so that's what I'm going to be watching for over there. And yeah, I think that is pretty much it, guys. All right, honestly, shop is pretty much, this is probably the sexiest setup that I'm watching for. All right, but you come over here to AMD, and I will just point out, guys, AMD buyer stepped in exactly at support. All right, you got 172.49. That's going to be the low of this candlestick right here. Underneath that level, you are probably just going to see this. All right, but what did buyers do? They stepped in exactly where they need to step in, and now you guys, you just have a triple bullish divergence going on here on the 4-hour RSI. Sellers, I still don't think. I don't think this is your time. I think this is the time to get out the way. That is just my honest opinion there. I do think this thing is going to be moving and grooving. You did get your breakout, and now I'm looking for higher prices. When? No idea. You had really bearish news, and you somehow bottom off it today. That's fine by me, but you know, this thing's a beast of its own. You can see what it can do. Once it does go, I think you're probably going to get a few days of that. I think you're probably going to get this again. All right. To new high? No idea. To the golden pocket? Maybe. All right. I would absolutely love it. All right. So watch it. INTC. That is another one that got aggressively bid up off the open. You had support down here. And we're gonna say you held support. You're now gonna have increasing volume on the day. INTC was actually one I was already watching because there was an unusual amount of call volume coming in. And now, yeah, no, those guys got smoked, all right? You know, now you're starting to recover there, but yeah, those guys got smoked. Those calls came in on this day right here, I'm pretty sure. So, smoked. Regardless, bottom of the range. Play the range if you would like. I think it's probably going to stay in that range. All right, that is all I have for you today. With that being said, I will catch y'all in the next one. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and peace.